All right, welcome in. It is time for the weekend edition of Total Bases. I have my two co-hosts here. One of us hit a 5% play yesterday. That was Tokyo Brandon. The other suffered what felt like a loss by just a 10,000 paper cuts. Brian, I'm going to come to you first because of the game we're talking about, and then we'll let TV get in here. But it was just like I had the Marlins last night. And it was just error, base running mistake, error, base running mistake. And even with all that, they still tied the game. They still had multiple chances to win the game. And then they lost in extra innings. So very frustrating. We went 2 of 3 out of the parlay. And, we talked about the Braves yesterday. Your leg cashed in the parlay with the Braves. They win convincingly. We're going to start with that game, Braves-Phillies. It's national TV. I'm starting to think that the Braves are a really good, complete team, maybe the most complete team other than the Los Angeles Dodgers. So tell us about your night and take us in to Phillies-Braves.
Yeah, we had another winning night. I was out to dinner with a couple of other handicappers from the site, and they had no idea about how good this Braves team was. And I said, keep in mind the guys that are coming back later on in the season from a pitching standpoint. I said this is a team right now, and I mentioned that to if you can get them, play them to win the NL, or if they're even better, if there's a bet to make the playoffs, because they still got to go against the Dodgers, very likely if they play in the championship. But they're playing great ball right now. They're not making the mistakes a lot of other teams do. Talked about it the other day. Some teams just are throwing to the wrong base. You mentioned it. It's just fundamental things. And I think the league as a whole has gotten away from that. I think sports as a whole has gotten away from that. They want to get everybody wants to get on ESPN and the highlights and everything. But teams like Milwaukee, even though once in a while they will have that bad game defensively or whatever, or running the bases, they're a team that is very good at all the little things, and that's why they have success. And Cleveland's a team like that. Cleveland, I believe, is like tied for last or one of that in making errors on the season. When you don't have a payroll of the Dodgers or those kind of teams, you have to be able to do the small things correctly, and Seattle hasn't been able to do that yet. So they continue to be the most unlucky team in baseball. But it's a lot of people overlook just the small things, the defense, the having enough guys to switch up. I talk about Tampa Bay, a team that could go lefty righty at any time, and it makes no difference. You go in to play a prop, the guy goes 1 or 2 innings, and they make a pitching change, and he's out. It's very frustrating as a bettor, but it's smart baseball.
Tokyo Brandon, I want to get you in here. Yesterday, I was thrilled you hit your 5%er yesterday. I know a lot of people probably used the double play on you and I yesterday because we had the 2 5%ers. I mean, if you're a cost conscious human being, that's probably what you would do in that scenario. So when I took that gut wrenching loss, it was a little easier to take when I saw that you won yours. So jump in here on Braves Phillies. Tell the folks how yesterday went, and then if you've got anything in Braves Phillies.
Sure. I went 2-0 in MLB. No, I won my 5%. That was my only MLB play. And then I went 2-0 in the KBO. So pretty good. Happy. But it's a new day. And as we know, this is a grind. So you can't get too high on your wins. You can't get too low on your losses. You just got to keep going. And in the long term, if you're plus, then you are good. You're better than 99% of the people who do this. So, just trying to be plus. But yeah, I think it's going pretty good. About this game, I think I'm going to make this my parlay leg, actually. I put a free play out in this game, and I also made a WagerTalk video, which is probably not on WagerTalk's YouTube channel yet, but it should be in the next hour or so. The books just like Philadelphia too much. I'm sorry, but that team is not hitting well. I got them ranked 17 in hitting, and yes, Christopher Sanchez is a good pitcher, but if you look at my Twitter X down there, I already put my pitcher OPS rankings out, and Sale ranks higher than Sanchez against the batters he's facing today. On top of that, Atlanta's hitters are hot, like Buster Poindexter, and the Phillies are kind of poo emojis right now. So I did a swim around on the numbers. I don't want to take Atlanta straight up, but in the first 5 innings, because Philly's bullpen is performing really well right now. So first 5 innings, Atlanta plus the half run is only -130. I thought that was really weird. You got Chris Sale plus a half run in the first 5 with the best lineup in MLB. Give me a break. That seems like a no-brainer. I could be wrong. I could just fall flat on my face on this one, but to me, that seems too easy. So I'm going to take the Braves first 5 plus the half run for my parlay leg. I think when I did it about 6 hours ago, it was -130. Could have changed, but I don't think it's anywhere past 140. So it's probably between there. Right, Brian?
I'm checking it right now.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing
Between
plus
130
1.5, probably about a 145.
I think he wants the first 5.
Or minus 145.
First 5 run line.
It's -145 now.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
it's falling pretty big. Okay. No problem, though.
Brian,
I'll take that from the parlay league.
Brian, I'll go to you here. I had the same sort of thought as TB when I saw this game. I really didn't understand why the Braves were like as big of an underdog as they were where this opened. I actually make the Braves a slight favorite overall in the game. Wasn't enough for me to fire on, but I did have that sort of same thought process. We're really still going to make the Braves an underdog here with Chris Sale on the mound. Do you think the Phillies are still getting too much respect in the market, Brian?
I do. And I have Christopher Sanchez rated higher than Sale. But in this game, as was pointed out, Philadelphia isn't hitting and they're not hitting lefties. And Chris Sale is one of the best. Atlanta's finding ways to win. Philadelphia is a team I don't trust right now. I talked about them being the age. All their star players are aging. I agree. And to get Philadelphia plus the half, or excuse me, Atlanta plus the half in the first 5, the total in the first 5 is 3.5, which is why you're laying some juice there. 3.5 when you're getting a half is a lot better than 5.5 when you're getting a half. Let's just put it that way. It means more. So I can't disagree with either one of you. I think the Braves are the way to go here, and somewhat surprised that the money hasn't come in on them yet.
SU Iceman says, I've got Braves 18-1 to win the World Series. That, sir, is a very good bet at 18-1. Obviously, that price is long gone. The Braves right now are the one team that I think could beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series. If they were to play today, I think they're the only team that I would give a chance in the National League to beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series for what it's worth. TB, I want to go to you and get you in on this one. Garth has donated, and so let's shout out Garth for the donation. Much appreciated. And let's get his play in here. He likes Paul Skeens under 17.5 outs. He said, Pirates are only averaging about 5 1/3 innings per start. They are protecting their young starters early in the season. Garth, that's a great observation. The reason for that is they've got the arms to do it. They haven't really had to ask these guys to go super deep into games because they've been able to bring a guy like Hunter Barco out of the bullpen. Obviously, they put him back down. They've shuffled around the relievers a little bit, but they've been able to have Carmen Władzinski go in like bulk behind an opener. So Tokyo Brandon, Pirates Rays, your thoughts on Garth's outs unders prop, because I know you've got your numbers up for that, and anything else in Pirates Rays before we send it to Brian.
So let's take a look at Skeens here in my outs projections. I've got Skeens at 16, so I got him getting 1 out past the 5th inning, which for a good pitcher like that is low, I think. But yeah, I would agree with our friend there. He's probably not going to finish 6 innings, in my opinion. Look, the Rays are hitting quite well right now. Actually, I have both of these teams ranked 6 in MLB, neck and neck right now, right under teams like the Braves and the Dodgers. So both of these teams are putting runs up quite well. Neither team has a great bullpen. At least neither team is performing well in the bullpen right now. And I've got Rasmussen actually ranked higher than Skeens, but let's take that with a grain of salt because the season just started and Skeens opened the season with just a gack on the mound, basically. So we know he's better than that. And we know he's better than Rasmussen. So let's face that. I don't know. I think the way that the Pirates are hitting right now, I might consider their team total over, perhaps, because it's probably pretty low. I haven't looked it up and I haven't bet it yet. But I mean, just my scouting mind would say, yeah, Pirates will probably get over. If it's a 3.5, I certainly think the Pirates can score 4 in this one. If it's 4.5, I would lay off. That's kind of how I would go in this game.
Brian, I feel like you made this point a couple times on this show that the Pirates are really being like cautious in terms of like innings, pushing starters super deep in the games. Makes me hopeful that they are thinking long term, like maybe they need these guys around in September this year for the first time in a very long time. So talk to me about Pirates Rays and also weigh in on Garth's under 17.5 outs for Skeens.
Well, I'm getting my numbers say Skeens goes 18 outs. It goes 6 innings. Rasmussen about 5.5 or so, 5.4. Love these two guys. These are two of my favorite pitchers. Normally, you can't get the value on Skeens. It's tough to back him because, number one, the Pirates don't score many runs when he when he pitches. And 2, everybody else knows he's one of the elite pitchers in Major League Baseball. Drew Rasmussen, on the other hand, is a guy who I'm able to get value on because Tampa Bay is a team that nobody really pays attention to, very much like Pittsburgh until this year. And you just take a look at his numbers every year. It's just amazing at the end of the year. He ended up with another ERA under 3. I mean, the guy's ridiculous. By the way, the team total for Pittsburgh is 3.5 over 140. I think it's something in that range. But if I am playing this one, I am probably playing the under, either a full game under or the first half under. It's out there right now. It's 7 over 20, over 25, that kind of range. I love both these guys. And in the first half, if you're looking at the first half total, it's sitting there at 3.5, similar to the other game we talked about. But this 3.5, if you're looking to take them on the spread, instead of laying the 145, I think it was in the other game we talked about in the first half, you can get Tampa Bay. It basically minus 105, it plus a half in the first half. That considering the line on the game is somewhat similar to the other one we played in. Obviously, Seattle or Pittsburgh's a higher favorite here, but to get Tampa Bay in the first 5 plus a half, get basically even money. That's not a bad bet either. So, like both these starters, I don't think there's going to be many runs in the first half of this game. Let's just put it that way.
I kind of like the Rays here. I know people do not think that I've been hyping up the Pirates more than just about anyone. This is an awfully big price for Rasmussen. The Rays, I kind of look at Rasmussen and Skeens pretty close. I look at the Rays and the Pirates kind of close, as far as I have them rated similarly. The Pirates get the win last night. The Pirates have used some bullpen. I think if you were going to take a flyer on a dog today, I would just roll the dice with the Rays at plus 150. It's not a bad bet for the money. If plus 1.5 was cheaper, I would actually probably bet that, but I'm not going to do it in its current price is a little bit too juiced for me to want to take a plus 1.5. So again, this is just, in my opinion, this would be a good value underdog. I don't have a huge opinion on the game because I like both of these teams. I like both of these starters, but the price is off here. So for that reason, I would have to land on Rays money line. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Griffin Jax is likely the only reliever that won't pitch today. He's pitched the last 2. You take a look at the Pittsburgh bullpen. Dennis Santana, who at this moment remains their closer, he's pitched 3 days in a row. So he will not be going tonight. Soto's pitched 2 of the last 3, including throwing 10 pitches yesterday. The teams don't like to play him that use your main guys that much, but Isaac Matson will be able to play, and Mason Montgomery's pitched 3 of the last 4. So he probably won't play. I believe he was the starter last time he went out, or the opener exactly. So the bullpen is definitely in favor of the underdog in this one. So maybe full game, Tampa. I couldn't go wrong with that.
Yeah, and to answer the chat comment here, I like the Rays plus 1.5. I just don't like the price I would have to lay to get it. But I could not talk you off of that. Like, that's not that would be the way to look at it, in my opinion. I just think there's a little bit more value in the money line number than laying that juiced 1.5. Andy Lang's in the chat. He's saying good morning to people. Shout out Andy Lang. He says, got to get the day started with total bases, even the weekend now, even your Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern here on Saturday. We're back at the normal time on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern for the rest of the week. Every day you can get our double play special where you pick 2 of the handicappers on the show. People were like, oh, I wish I think if you emailed in, if you wanted all 3, they would probably make a package for you. I think the reason we don't do it is just because there's only so many games.
It's too many.
So you'd get some conflicting opinions. But
we would overlap. Yeah,
Right.
we would overlap. And listen, you're going to overlap regardless. But it's for me, if I would, I would want the multiple viewpoints. Like if you're handicapping yourself, I think the multiple viewpoints are valuable. I wouldn't be put off by the fact that someone might be on opposite sides. I would want to read the analysis and see why. But again, that is up on the page. And then if you just want one handicapper, you don't want to deal with 2 of us, that's no problem either, because we've got 3 days right now, 6 days for the cost of 3. I believe that is running through the end of April. So check that out as well. Tokyo Brandon, you're talking with people in the chat about the Twins and the Reds right now. And I have an opinion in that game too. So Mark Lambert says Twins today. Why not? I hit the Reds money line yesterday. They won 2-1. That's a couple losses for the Twins back to back after they were hotter than the sun for a week or so. So let's go to you, TB. Twins Reds early game, 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe. How are you seeing this one?
Yeah, man, the Twins have been hitting really well, and Taj Bradley's been pitching really well. I'm looking through my OPS numbers that I put on my Twitter X to see if anyone qualifies. It does not look like they do. Oh, Taj Bradley, pretty bad OPS against the Reds though, but I think he's a better pitcher than Abbott, and I think the Twins can get to Abbott. The Twins, I have them ranked 8th in hitting right now, and I got the Reds ranked 26th, and that's current form. That doesn't mean that's the tell-all for their talent. It just means how they are right now. I think I can start using current form now because we're 3 weeks into the season. So, 2 weeks in. I think it's good enough indication because I generally look at 7 to 10 day windows, and we're past that point. So I do skew it for the month. So I skew it for how teams generally perform at the beginning of the season in April. But anyways, I do like Tampa Bay here. I think it'll be a high scoring game because neither team really has a very good bullpen in current form. Got the Reds ranked 19, got the Twins ranked 23. So I would go over here because, I mean, the Twins are hitting really well. I think they'll do a little damage against Abbott today, and I think they'll do damage against that bullpen. Taj Bradley's pitching really well, but again, these numbers are going to be a little skewed because we're at the beginning of the season, and he came out the opposite of Paul Skeens. He came out with a gem, so his numbers are going to be skewed a little bit. So generally speaking, I think Taj Bradley is a little bit better than Abbott, but neither one is a superstar. So I think we're looking at an over here, in my opinion.
I don't think the Reds are going to do anything against Taj Bradley today. And the problem with so Taj Bradley, Brian, I'll go to you. I want you to counter this or agree or disagree. The only thing that I don't like that he does is leaves the ball up occasionally and gives up the occasional bomb because he will pitch up in the zone. Doesn't get many ground balls. It is going to be in the 30s at first pitch today in Minnesota. It's not even going to be 40 degrees by first pitch for this game this afternoon. That doesn't exactly sound like runs to me. And I don't think you're going to get I don't think if there was ever a weather sort of setting that Taj Bradley would want to pitch in, it's probably today where the ball's probably not going to carry. The bats are cold. They have a couple of people. I was listening to the St. Paul Saints broadcast the other day, Brian, which is, of course, Minnesota's AAA team, plays right down the street. Minneapolis, St. Paul are I think an hour apart, not even. And the players were just it has been treacherous playing in the weather that they've had in early in the season. Kind of feels like there's going to be a little of that today. Doesn't sound great for the Reds, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. The Reds on the season are dead last in Major League Baseball and WRC plus, considering they played in a pretty good hitter's ballpark. That's pretty weak. And they're also, I have a 71 versus right-handed pitchers, which is just a quick look, is also last in Major League Baseball. When you take a look at Taj Bradley, I'm expecting him to go 5.5 innings. And if you look at what they have done so far this season, Taj Bradley is last 3 times he's been out, he's averaging 103 pitches. Last time was 106 pitches. So he is fully stretched out. And you look at Abbott, his last time out, he only threw 71 pitches. He didn't have much success, but his last 3 is only 83 pitches. So if you don't want to lay the favorite number on the Twins, how about looking at the starting pitcher to get the victory? You said they thought they were going to get to Abbott, and I don't see the numbers in front of me, but I'm assuming you can get a pretty nice plus price if you're looking to have Bradley to have the victory in this one. The Reds are a team that has been one of the most luckiest teams in baseball so far. I'm not a big fan of this club. They're very streaky hitters, and they've got some dominant pitching on this team, but a lot of other weaknesses. They did get their closer back. It wasn't nearly as back, the hamstring pull on the closer. So he pitched yesterday. But that's a good thing for them because I don't think they've got one of the greater bullpens in baseball. So, yeah, I have no problem with taking either Minnesota or maybe the team total under on Cincinnati, something to that effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this. This will be a client play. I was hoping someone would bet the Reds and knock this down 10 cents, but it's minus I know we don't name books on this site, but they're the legals. There's a minus 132, which I just locked in for clients. There's plenty of minus 135s. I may even up this to a 4% if again, I was kind of hoping it would come down 10 cents because people are higher on the Reds than I am. But I don't want to risk it going to 140, at which point I would probably be out. So I'll use that as my parlay link. That'll be mine. I really like the Twins, and it sets up perfectly for them. Taj Bradley is awesome. And if he again, I don't even think it matters that he gives up some fly ball today because I don't see the ball carrying at Target Field. You're going to really have to get into one, I think, to get it out of there today. So I like the Twins, and we're early on the parlay today. We'll save Brian's to the end of the show. We got to keep you guys around, so we'll save his for the end of the show. But that is also going to be a client play for me. All right, let's continue on. I'm going to go to the first. All right, here we go. Let's go to this one. I have an opinion here, as I usually do. Mark Lambert is listing off his favorite underdogs today. And it looks like, I would say, his favorite, or one of his favorites, is the White Sox. But he's also congratulating you, Brian, for a nice White Sox win yesterday. Yes, a convincing White Sox win yesterday. Back in the Bay Area today, little day game, A's, White Sox. Eric Fetty, Luis Severino, are you going back to the well with the White Sox here?
Yeah, I just could not understand the line on that one. You've got a veteran pitcher we know what he has done and lay in 170 or whatever it was in that game. I don't care what you think of the White Sox. You can't do that in Major League Baseball. Fetty against Severino here. Severino's about a 160 favorite or so. Total of 9. It's actually gone down a little bit. I saw it got hit earlier, and there's not many times people are going to bet the under when you're playing in Sacramento. So keep that in mind. But yeah, the White Sox were good to me yesterday, and if I'm playing, I'm taking. In fact, I don't do a lot with props, but let me get to this. Benintendi, in his career against Severino, he's had 42 at bats. He's batting .342 with over 1,000 OPS. He's a guy that's had a lot of success. 42 at bats against a single batter or pitcher. TB will tell you, you rarely see something that much. But he's been around a long time. Maybe Benintendi. Hits, runs, errors over. Anything you can on something like that, I think is a pretty good bet. But yeah, I kind of like the underdog here. Don't know if it'll make my card, but yeah, there's no way I'm laying this number. Severino struggled in this ballpark. He's talked about this forever, and the A's right now are hit and miss when it comes to hitting. You thought every time I think they're coming back, and the big guys, Kurtz and some of the others are coming back, then they get back in another slump. So yeah, it's White Sox or nothing for me.
I gave a prop out in this game in a video I did earlier in my Under the Radar segment. So that's going to be on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. If you're, I'm gonna make you go watch that video to get that prop play. Need the clicks, sorry. Need the likes, need the comments. If you want to feel free to jump in the comments and yell at me for that. But I need you to go watch that video. So I'm going to go to Tokyo Brandon. All I will say is this. Again, White Sox, I do think there might be a little value with them. Eric Fetty doesn't really throw anything straight. We've watched him for years. Historic season he had against the NC Dinos, or on the NC Dinos back in 2023 in the KBO. All sweepers, cutters, change up. For a team like the A's that loves to swing the bat, it could they're going to probably put the ball in play, but are they squaring anything up? I don't know. I kind of think that, I kind of run it back with the White Sox, especially if you cashed yesterday. So TB, Fetty, Severino, A's, White Sox, anything for you?
Yeah. Kind of agree with you guys, but before I do that, I want to give Brian props yesterday for backing the I forgot who was the Brave starter yesterday.
You did not like Martin Perez.
Yeah, there was a guy. There was a guy. It's just one game, but there was a guy telling me, "There's no way I can play those." Martin Perez. Hey,
props.
There's a reason why he's still bouncing around the league. He has the ability, and certain matchups were in his favor.
Props. I thought after he got cut by a AAA team, he was washed, but I guess he still has something left. Anyways, props to you for that. This is why I like doing the show, because I can learn some things too. So let's get into this. I have 3 MLB plays out today, but I just gave you guys my Braves plays, but I have 2 more out. So go to wagertalk.com and get a double play. Get 2 of us for a 3-day huge discount. Great deal. And go to WagerTalk's YouTube channel, because all 3 of us put up free play videos every day as well. So go look at those free play videos. We get into it a little deeper than we do on this show because we have more time. Anyways, I'll keep this very short because I don't have a lot on this game. But Fetty's pitching better than Severino. I can't believe I said that. The White Sox have flaccid bats right now. There, I said it. The White Sox are ranked 28 out of 30 teams. So I don't have a lot of faith in their lineup, but I do have faith in Benintendi. And then there's another guy in this game who could have a whopper of a game, and that's Jeff McNeil. He's got pretty good OPS and 18 at bats against Eric Fetty in his career. So if you're going to bet batter props, those would be 2 guys to back today. The number 1 guy in my batter props plays for the Padres. You'll have to go to my Twitter to see who that is, but he's going to whack the heck out of Kikuchi today. We'll see if we cover that game later.
The White Sox have all their bullpen arms here too. Davis Martin gave them 7 innings yesterday, and it was Doug Nikhazy, former Cleveland Guardian, to come in and clean up for the next 2. They just called him up, I think, yesterday, and he took the last 2 innings. So, that's a good White Sox bullpen when they don't have to, when they've got all of their top arms, Grant Taylor, Leisure, they have a couple of good arms at the front end of that bullpen. I think there's some value again on the dog here. All right, let's go to the other. Well, this was one of the big games last night. One of the more boring games, I suppose, depending on what you're into last night. That's Tigers Red Sox, and we really should cover this one because, of course, Tariq Skubal, one of the best pitchers in baseball, is going to be on the mound for the Tigers. That went into extra innings, tied at 0. Bryan Leonard, 2 guys were dealing. The bullpens were, locking it down. Hitters weren't hitting, but the Red Sox scratched and clawed their way to a 1-0 win. Gives them back-to-back wins. It's a win like that, Brian, what they need to get going, but do they give it right back to one of the best pitchers in baseball here?
Rather than looking at the side, which I think is priced pretty fair, I'm looking at the total from my ballparkpal.com website. They talk about the weather. They got Fenway Park being 15% lower than normal. Home runs 29% lower. The wind is blowing in, very similar to what we saw yesterday. And I'm going to come back and take a look at that under in this game. I'm expecting Skubal to go 6 innings. Bayo, I'm not a big Bayo fan, but going 5. And neither one of them are major walk guys, especially Skubal. Bayo 2.8. They're expecting 2.8 walks here, so that's a little high. But when I take a look at some numbers that I like, Skubal is taking the last 42 innings against left-handed batters for Skubal. His strikeout to walk ratio 30.5 strikeouts, 1.2% on the walk rate. That's a guy who does not walk lefties. I would not want to be a lefty going up against him in this game. In fact, never go up against him. He's just such a great pitcher. Brian Bayo is a guy I've talked about in the past. I think he may be a little bit overrated, but with the wind blowing in like it is, I think that definitely helps him. He does throw a lot of balls, and so you do have to worry about the walks. But other than that, I like the situation here with him, and he's really built up. 94 pitches last time, 90 the last 3. So I think this is going to be another low-scoring game. I kind of like the under in this one.
TB, over to you. Red Sox, Tigers. I know you haven't really cared for the Red Sox, so here's your chance to go against them if you want to with one of the best pitchers in the game. Are you on Tigers and Skubal here?
Yeah, I think, the problem is the Red Sox are doing everything better than the Tigers right now, except starting pitching. Brian Bayo, I got him ranked 23 on a curve of 30, where I got Skubal ranked 7. So starting pitching, huge advantage. But bullpen-wise, they're both in good form, but Boston's is performing a little bit better. And the lineups pretty equal, right around 10 for both teams. So I think Skubal is enough better than Bayo. I think the discrepancy between these two starting pitchers is enough to take the Tigers in this one. And I do project strikeouts as well. I got Skubal getting 8 and I got Bayo getting 4 in this one. I don't know what the numbers are, but you can use those if you want to bet strikeout props because I've been fairly accurate for those. I think I'll back the Tigers here, especially the way they lost yesterday. I think they bounce back, even on the road. Give me the Tigers in this one.
I was scanning just like players in the rosters, and I'll come back to you, Ryan, for maybe you can, just talk about this too, but like I was scanning players and rosters earlier. Saw Rob Refsnyder pop up on the Mariners roster. Hasn't got a hit yet this year, but that's neither here nor there. It was out on paternity leave, and they saw them put him back onto the roster. But the point is, he was kind of the guy that raked lefties for this Red Sox team last year. I think he was like a big time platoon guy for them, hitting like well over 300 against left-handed pitching. You know, I don't know that they've like fully replaced that, right? Like they had Bregman hit lefties well, like. So maybe there is something to, maybe wanting to fade the Red Sox with arguably the best left-handed pitcher in the league in Skubal. What did you have? And it was an observation. I don't really have anything actionable there. Felt like it was something to bring up.
Yeah, these are two teams that have some speed. And I've talked about this before. Neither one of them run. They're both, when somebody gets on base, they only attempt to steal 5% of the time. There are teams that steal. You have stolen bases 5% of the time. So these are two teams, especially when the wind's blowing in this ballpark and Detroit's a good pitcher's park. Every run counts, and you've got to be able to move the runners over against Skubal. And they don't even try. If you don't try to steal a base, you need to depend on power. And neither one of these teams is hitting with power right now. So another reason to like the under.
Yeah, or you need to string hits together, and that's not exactly easy to do against Skubal either. If you're going to get him, you're right. It's probably going to be in one swing of the bat where you get into one. Not the guy that you're typically stringing 3 hit innings against, or he doesn't put many guys on. So that's a really good point, Brian. I'll come back to you. Do you know where you want to go with the final leg of the parlay? And is it a game we've talked about to this point?
Yeah, we've talked about a few of the games I was interested in. I'll use this under here in the Detroit-Boston game. Under 7, you can get it at -110. You can get it. It's all over right now. So -7 under -110, I think is the way to go here. And I expect Skubal to have a really good game here. Bayo pitches long enough, and when Bayo isn't there and they bring in a lefty after that, Detroit has not hit lefties, as you pointed out. So, it makes a lot of sense to me. I'm going to play this one under.
All right. Well, first, shout out to the Carrillo for the donation. He says, "A million thanks to each of you. Stay encouraged. We very much appreciate that." And since you didn't attach a game, I'm going to go to Tokyo Brandon. I'm going to go out west. I know he's got a thought in Padres Angels. It's one of the last games on the board tonight. So take it away, TB. Herman Marquez, you say Kikuchi. What were you looking at in Padres Angels out west tonight?
Okay. Leave it to a guy from the East Coast to say Carrillo. Brian, we know how to pronounce that name, right?
Is that a E? Is that a Carrillo? Is that what you think
it's
it is?
Carrillo, yeah. Come on, Brian. We're from the West Coast. You know how to say that. I'm kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay, I'll release my OPS guys instead of making you go to my Twitter X to see it. Manny Machado just rips the hell out of Kikuchi in his career, so I'm expecting more of that. I think the Padres should be able to crush here. I got the Padres hitting number 2 in MLB right now, but the Angels are hitting 6, so should be a lot of scoring. But the Padres bullpen, pretty darn good. And I got both of these starters ranked fairly low. But again, my starter rankings take them with a grain of salt because we just started. Nobody has 5 starts yet, and only a handful have 4 starts. So most guys have 2 or 3 starts. I'm not going to take that too much to the bank. And I don't really have, let's see, not huge sample sizes for these starters against the other team, but Kikuchi performed a little worse than Marquez against the batters he's facing today. I like the Padres. I think the Padres can get it done here. They got the much better bullpen, but everything else is kind of equal. Neither starter's good. 2 hitters, 2 hitting lineups hitting well. Padres bullpen's really good. I'd take a Padres team total over, or I would take the Padres on the side. Either way is how I would go with this one. Or Machado, batter prop.
Brian, when you have an aggressive GM like AJ Preller and you're in the mix and you go for it, sometimes that means you end up with the starting rotation that has German Marquez in it. The guy had an ERA over 6 last year, and yet he's starting games for the Padres. That's an issue. But when you look down at El Paso, there's no better options. They tried one last night. Matt Waldron got killed. So this is Taijuan Walker 2.0 in my opinion. You're going to have your cracks at this guy that is probably not someone that should be in a big league rotation at this point. But I think San Diego's backed themselves into a little bit of a corner. So are you going to fade him here? Is that how you're looking at this? Would you go against him here? Do you think he should be in a big league rotation?
I had the Angels last night. That was easy. We had another winning night. I'm not in agreement on the betting against or betting on the Padres here. They've only got an 81 WRC plus on the season versus lefties. They may have a couple guys that'll hit well, and Kikuchi's not a guy that I totally trust. But the team they're playing has got a 115 WRC plus versus righties. The Angels are just knocking the hell out of the ball right now. So maybe the over in that one, but I don't want San Diego as a play. I just don't trust their offense as well. I know they've been hot, but if I'm playing, I'm either laying with the Angels or I'm playing the over, and the over sitting at 9.5 right now. I could easily see this being a slugfest here with these two pitchers on the mound.
You don't even have to lay. It's like minus 107 or minus one. It's bit. You're not. Yeah, you shouldn't have to lay more than minus 110.
Yeah, it's basically
to get the Angels. Yeah. I mean, I'm still not like totally in on the Angels from a long-term standpoint, but you can't argue with the fact. I mean, they have played as good as I could have imagined them playing to this point in the year. They're getting far more pitching than I thought they were going to get. I mean, I think Zach, I'll give away. So I talked about this in the other half of my under the radar segment, talks about Zach Neto. I gave out a prop and I'll give away the fact that like, he's a superstar. Like he is going to be awesome. And I almost feel like he's not getting talked about because Trout's playing so well, because guys like Joe Adele are having the game of his life. Like he's almost flying under the radar in the leadoff spot, and he probably hasn't really hit to potential yet, which, he could be a 900 OPS guy. Like he's that good. The Angels might be better than I thought is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well,
until Trout gets injured.
But he's not. Look at how good he's played so far.
Yeah, but he gets injured every year.
Yeah,
is he injured today? He's not injured today,
like he normally does.
Today he's not.
Adele is the guy that changed. He was striking out too much. He had been from anywhere from like 31 to like 40% in a small sample size of strikeouts in his career. I think he's down to 17% right now. It's taking away some of his power, which maybe in the number one spot or some of the spots they have him in, he just wants to get on the base, and it's improved his entire game. He's not going to be a 40 home run guy this year. He'll be a 20 home run guy. But if you get a 20 home run guy hitting close to 300, stealing a few bases, he's got a little bit of speed, he may be a better fit on the season for this Angels team.
TB, I'm not disagreeing with you, though. I think I said this a couple weeks ago. The Angels are like 2 injuries away from things going very badly for them. Like they're probably one or two.
Yeah.
They're one or two injuries away. Yeah. They don't have much at Salt Lake. That's like really, guys I would want in the big leagues. They have no pitching down there. None. The other day they trotted out Aldeguerri in like a bulk roll, somehow won that game. Like they're an injury or two away from things being probably bad. But right now things are going good. Everyone is hot. Yeah,
absolutely. Like you said, Trout being injured every year has nothing to do with today's game, and you're absolutely right. It only has to do with team season win totals and things like that, or will they make the playoffs, etc. But yeah, regarding today's game, Trout's injury history has nothing to do with it, and he's raking like prime Trout. So this Angels team is very explosive. If he's in the lineup, they're explosive as hell. I agree.
His barrel rate is like over 30%, I believe.
Yeah, he's crushed.
He's hitting it. He's right on it. He's right on it.
He's like Bo Jackson. It's like he's like Bo Jackson. It's such a shame that he has this injury.
It was Bo Jackson. Nobody ever got a chance to see him play, especially defensively. Oh my God, what a player!
Yeah, Trout could be one of the best in history of MLB if he didn't have this injury history. He's so talented, fun to watch too. All the tools,
you nailed it right there.
Bases,
the Angels, the Angels are fun to watch. And you know what? I don't think either of us are in on them long term. But like right now, it's hard to dislike this team right now.
Absolutely,
the energy's been awesome. They're playing all out. Like you're right.
What if
it's fun to watch?
What if they still had Ohtani?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We can all agree.
Yeah, right. All right, we have hit the end of the show. We've already locked in the parlay, so let's go ahead and recap that. I'm going to go with the Twins on the money line. That's also a client play for me. Bryan Leonard is going with Tigers Red Sox under 7, minus 110. My Twins money line I'll call minus 135. And then Tokyo Brandon is going Braves first 5 plus the half a run with Chris Sale on the mound. Minus 145, we'll call it for the parlay. Andy Lang says, great stuff, fellas. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Also, if you have a second, drop us a like, a subscribe, maybe a comment. The three of us do try to get into the comments on a daily basis. If we missed something that you wanted addressed on the show, someone will hop in and give you an opinion on it. That'll be it for us for the weekend. The three of us will be back at 9 a.m. Eastern Monday morning for more Total Basis. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you guys Monday.